Well, as the summer passed and fall came on, Goodlad's mother started feeling poorly at times, and then worse and worse as the days went on, until it was coming very close to the end of the year. It was coming close to Christmas, when she laid herself to bed and could hardly rise from one day to the next. Early on, Goodlad had gone to the wise woman of Lochhair, and the woman who gave him his name. And she had told him what to do with all of the herbs that Goodlad and his mother had plucked up and hung from the rafters to dry. What kind of potions and medicines to make, but it was no good, for none of them seemed to work. And so, as Christmas was, maybe only a week away, he went back to the wise woman. Is she better? She said. No, said Goodlad. She worsens day by day. Oh, Goodlad, have you tried all of the things I told you about, the potions and the medicines? Aye, every one, and combinations of them too. And nothing seems to work. Oh, Goodlad, then. There's nothing for it. You'll have to find the precious herbs of Christmas. The precious herbs of Christmas, said Goodlad. I never heard of them. How do I find them? I'll find them. I can't tell you exactly what they are, Goodlad. I can only tell you how to find them. And she took down a great old leather-bound book, and she laid it open on the table. And she began to read. You must find the precious herbs of Christmas on the dark of a snowy Christmas Eve. And she looked at Goodlad, and his head was hung, and he was shaking his head. What's the matter, Goodlad? You said dark. I'm afeard of the dark. Oh, Goodlad, you know, sometimes we say that love can conquer all fears. Try, Goodlad, try. Will you try? I'll try, he said. I'll try. All right, then. So it must be the dark of a snowy Christmas Eve. And you must find the precious herbs, and how you will know them, I cannot say. But when you find them, the book says you must pluck off a sprig of each with the snow still upon it, and carry them carefully home, and have your kettle ready to brew the tea, and break off a twig of each of the herbs and the snow into the water. And then your mother, she must drink the tea down before the cock crows in the Christmas morning. I'll try, said Goodlad. Well, Christmas Eve came, and Goodlad, as he went out looking for the goats, he searched the sky for clouds. Oh, there were plenty of clouds in the sky, but not a flake of snow. And so he drove the goats home before it was dark, of course, and put them safe in the byre. And as he was walking across the yard toward the house, all of a sudden he felt something soft touch the side of his cheek. It was a snowflake, and the snow was starting to fall. A snowy, dark Christmas Eve, Goodlad said, I'll try. And he went into his mother, and he went right up to the bed, and he said, Mother, I must go out. Mother, can you hear me, Mother? She whispered. Mother, I must go out, and I want you to promise me to bide while I am gone. Will you promise me, Mother, to bide? Aye, Goodlad, I'll bide. And Goodlad went to the door, and 'twas full dark by then. And he stepped out into the dark, and a chill ran down his spine, but not from the cold. You know what caused it. And then he had a thought. The goats, they'll go with me. And he ran to the byre and opened the door. As the snow was falling down and covering the ground, he called out the goats, and Star, the lead goat. Why, she pranced ahead up the path out to the side of Bin Ban until she found a place that she seemed to know. And she sat down and laid down and tucked her legs up underneath her and all the goats around her, and Goodlad in the very middle of them all. Not long after that, the snow started to let up, and Goodlad saw the lights, a string of lights snaking their way, moving up the mountainside until they came to a flat right below Goodlad and the goats, and they made a circle there. And underneath each little rush light Goodlad could see, there was a wee fairy man. And then one of them spoke. "Now you all know that on a snowy Christmas Eve, 'tis to one of the mortals hereabout that we can grant a wish. Who shall it be that we grant our wish to this year? What say ye?" And there was silence for a moment, and then another voice that Goodlad recognized. I know. Now you all know that on New Summer's Eve, 'twas Goodlad, the boy who lives on the farm hereabouts. He pulled me out of a crack in the rock and got my hat and set me straight and on my way. And we all know that a wish lies heavy on Goodlad's heart tonight. And so I say it should be to Goodlad that we grant our wish this year. What say ye? And there was another pause for just a second, and then all the voices in unison said, "Aye, to Goodlad." And Goodlad made his wish. And then the ferryman began to go round and round in a fairy circle, round and round until 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the lights left the circle and stopped on the hillside. And then the snow began to fall. And when it stopped again, all Goodlad could see were the 5 little lights still burning. The precious herbs, he said to himself. And he ran out and he picked a twig from each of the plants that the lights marked, and carefully was to hold the snow upon the top of each little dried flower. And he called the goats, and the goats came after. And down the hill he went, just holding it safely like the world's treasure in front of him, until he came to the house, and he kicked open the door. And he'd set the kettle to be warm over the turf fire. And so it was. And Goodlad, he broke off a twig of one, and he shook it and dropped it into the pot. And then the twig of another, and another, and another, and another. And he did not notice what they were, for it did not matter, for these were the precious herbs of Christmas, he knew. And he brewed the tea, and he poured it into the mug, and he brought it over to his mother, and he held her hand up, and he said, Mother, I'm here. Aye, Goodlad. What, Mother, you must drink this tea down, all of it, right down, quickly, for I do not know what time it is. Oh, Goodlad, she said, I will. And she began to drink. Slowly she drank, slowly she drank, slowly and slowly, until it was gone. And just as the last drop crossed her tongue, the cock crowed in the Christmas morning. Goodlad, she said. What was in that potion you gave me? That drink, what was it, Goodlad? All of a sudden I feel so much better. Oh, Goodlad. Oh, Goodlad, she said. I feel very tired. And her head dropped back on the pillow, and she went fast asleep with a smile upon her face. And Goodlad looked back to the door, which was still standing wide open, and there in the doorway were the heads of all the goats looking in. Oh, she's well, he said, or getting better. Oh, yes, come back into the byre and an extra ration of hay for each one of you tonight. And so he drove them into the byre and threw down the extra hay. And he walked back out to the byre and into the dark. And up above him, there was just a little bit of open sky in the thick clouds. And he could see the stars shining. And he looked up at the dark. And he looked down at the ground. And he looked all around, at the darkness all around. And he said, faith. The night is not a fearsome thing. The night is not a fearsome thing. And let there be no fear of darkness, and let there be no fear of sea. Let the wind blow the lost and forsaken, safe over the moorland to me. For a cold wind blows over the heather, a salt wind blows over the sea, and a white wind blows down from the mountains and brings a white Christmas to thee. Thank you.